Yes guys, welcome down to Carter's Golf. My name is Andy Carter, PGA teacher professional down here at Jumeirah Golf Estates in Dubai. And today's lesson tip is all about the trail elbow, so the trail arm in the golf swing. So for right-handed golfers, this is all about your right arm and the positioning of the arm during the golf swing. And we're going to start it from the setup position, how it's going to work into the takeaway, and then how it's going to try to look at the top of the backswing as well. The trail arm can have a massive impact on swing path, particularly in the transition into the downswing, and it therefore can create a big slice if you're a slicer of the golf ball, or it can create a big pull towards the left-hand side as well. So we want to make sure that the setup position with the trail arm is absolutely perfect, because we see a lot of golfers pull the elbow away, start to pull the elbow up. What we want to try and see is the elbow starting to fold around as the body starts to rotate. One of the key aspects to setup is the positioning of this right elbow. So if I start and I rotate my shoulder over at setup, one thing that happens here is that my shoulders now become open to the target, so they start to aim left. Also, the angle of my elbow, so the inside of the elbow is going to point down the fairway, and the bicep is also going to point down the fairway, even though I've got no biceps. So one of the things we've got to try to make sure is that this trail shoulder is back, and the angle of the bicep and the elbow is pointing kind of more at the golf ball. So the best way to kind of do it is to set the arm into this position and then just turning the forearm. So just turning the forearm into your grip. So the elbow is kind of pointing up and kind of in the direction of the golf ball, and the forearm turns to take the grip. We don't want to turn the arm and the shoulder to take the grip, okay? So golfers even that are trying to improve the grip, when they're trying to go from strong to more neutral, don't start to use your shoulder to do it. It's all going to come from the elbow being in this position and using the forearm to take the grip. So that's absolutely key. And it's key because if we get into this position at setup, as soon as that takeaway starts to go, you can start to see where my right elbow starts to work away from the ball. So it's starting to work out and up, all right? So as it starts to work out and up, it's going to really hinder the top of my backswing. And what we see very often then is a pushing movement from the top of the backswing. So the right elbow starts to push away from the top. So if I take the right elbow away, the elbow's up and out, and I see this position a lot. The transitional movement, golfers are wanting to try and get the club back onto the inside, and they really can't. From this position, you're going that way. You're rotating and you're going that way, and you're going on the outside. Now, that was probably quite an exaggerated version, but it kind of gets the message across that if that right elbow's out and out again at the top of the backswing, the swing path is generally going to be going from out to in. So what we want to try to do, put the left hand on first, and put the glasses on. Put the left hand on first. Bring the trail arm in with the elbow pointing up, and then turn the forearm to take the grip. So this trail elbow is pointing up as we start to take the setup. Now as we start to swing, the trail elbow is now staying more in towards the body, and the positioning at this point now in regards to where the shoulder is, trail elbow is into the side, and as I get to the top of the backswing, what we're going to see there is two elbows that are very close together. Great position with the two elbows, nice and close together, and then on the way down we're able to control the swing path better. We don't want to see the elbows disconnected at the top of the backswing. We don't want to see this right elbow out and away. We look at the difference it changes to the angle of the shaft now. Once I put that club elbow back in, the club will then sit down. The club will be a lot flatter at the top of the backswing. Golfers that go like this are just asking for a slice, all right? So one of the key things we're going to be looking at is the positioning of the elbow at setup and the positioning of the elbow on the takeaway. Once we start to hinge the wrists, the elbow will start to tuck, okay? The elbow will start to fold in towards the body. Once the elbow's folded into the body, we can then create a nice backswing where the elbows at the top of the backswing are very connected. You could almost get a small ball in there. So maybe if you've been using a tour striker ball, something very similar to that, you can keep the elbows connected at the top of the backswing, and then on the way down we can deliver a swing path that's a lot more on plane. Also, so as we're talking about that trail elbow, Obviously it's important of how the wrist works. I think if the wrists get into the wrong position, as you can see as well, if my left wrist gets very cupped, it also does encourage the trail elbow to kind of push out. So the two work very much in harmony together. As we start to hinge the wrists, this right elbow will start to fold. And a great drill you can do without even using the golf club, you can put the golf club on the ground, get the right palm, so your trail arm, the palm of the pointing down to the ground, and what you're going to try and do, you're going to end up trying to point the palm up to the sky. And as you do so, look where my trail elbow is. Okay, so as I've got the hands coming away, I've got the palm pointing straight at you guys in the camera, my trail elbow is now in, and as I turn my shoulders and my hips up to the top of the backswing, the palm is up to the sky and the trail elbow again is folded in. Again, what I see a lot of, even just trying to do this drill with a lot of clients, is they start to take it away and they end up like this at the top, and we see where that elbow has gone. It's really important to really try and feel as the body rotates, the shoulders turn, the hands are hinging, that right trail elbow tucking into the body. Okay, great drill for you just to be kind of doing at home, getting a feeling of the shoulders rotating, hips rotating, palm to the sky, trail elbow in, nice and compact here, keeping the right armpit close, keeping the bicep close as well, making sure we don't get that flying elbow, as it's been called many a time, and we've all had it. I know I have. So one more thing we're going to be looking at here as we get to the top, trail elbow in. If I take my hand off the club, look where my palm is. Palms up to the sky, so it matches the golf swing absolutely perfectly. You may have even also heard the term carrying a tray of drinks. That's for the alcoholics out there, everyone carrying the drinks. So one of the things we've got to try and do, get to the top, right elbow in, elbows together, wrist hinge nice and set, palm to the sky. From here, the club's going to flatten on the way down naturally, and we can start to swing through. We start to release the angles as we start to come through the shot. Once we're here, down, and then we can just release it on the way through. Guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that tip. Please do subscribe to the channel. Lots of content to come, lots of tips to come over the summer. So if you're just starting your golf season, now is a perfect time to start to pick up a few tips, looking at your specific faults on the golf course that you can use, you can improve on, and obviously start to lower scores. Follow me on my social media platforms as well. We've got Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. We're going to see some regular tips going on those platforms as well very soon. But for today, see you again, guys.